Hey, I'm Eva. How you doing? Today's video is a tarot tune in. I'm going to tune into the energy of where we're at, and I'm going to channel guidance from God. And I hope that you really enjoy this and find it helpful. Over to God. Very important right now, the period of time that you are in is one of change. One of change. You may find that you have some of your most difficult feelings coming up, your most difficult thoughts, that your most traumatic experiences, that your most traumatic systems are coming up. So whatever's held you back, it could be relationships with family, it could be relationships with money, and it could be that you're finding that whatever has been in your way is coming up so that you can finally face it and realize that those things don't need to have power over you, that you can actually deal with your emotions and your mindset in a way that is right for you. So there really is a beautiful theme right now of energy trying to get you to do what is right for you. And the biggest difficulty that is in the collective energy right now is people doing what is not aligned for them. A lot of confusion, a lot of agenda, a lot of, I got to do this to get that, and I got to do this to get that, and I got to play this game and play that game. And so with that, there's going to be a lot of heartache and a lot of pain. And so you're naturally going to have that revealed to you that if there's anything that really gets in your way, it's coming up right now so you can heal it. And so if you're doing a job that's not right for you, you're going to find out that you have to be willing to let it go. That doesn't mean you necessarily quit today, or it could mean that you quit today. So there's a lot of energy of change and transformation, and you may be feeling the pressure of, I gotta make a change, I gotta make a change, I gotta make a change. But what I want you to understand is the change is an internal one. It's internal. It's one where you're able to change within you to be the person that you need to be to have the life that you really would like to have. It's not about going outside of yourself to fix an issue. It's about allowing whatever has been holding you back to be exposed to you, and to be able to deal with it in a higher way, to be able to deal with things in a way that is really right for you, and to be able to follow your intuition to do the path that is meant for you. And the more you're able of understanding what is right for you, the better you're going to feel. You're not going to feel right staying where you're at. You're not going to feel right staying where you're at. There's an energy of change. There's an energy of you need to be doing the path that is right for you. If there's been something that's gotten in the way of that and you've come up against it over and over again, it's because now you need to heal it. Very simple. You got to heal it, and you got to be able to be one with your emotions. Heartache, real pain and heartache is always the result of you repressed a trauma, you repressed your feelings, you repressed something within you, and now it needs to be out. Yeah, now it needs to be revealed that it's actually not the right thing to repress yourself. You can't repress yourself. You can't have a life where you're living for other people, where you're living in a way that other people will approve of. And so if you're being squeezed, and maybe you're squeezed to the point where you have to deal with your issues. So it could be money. It could be that you put a lot of focus on money, that you put a lot of focus on money has power over me. Money has power over me. I gave my power to money. That can look like I can never make money. I always put money on a pedestal. I'm never good enough to make money. Or in order to make money, I have to do something that is going to hurt me. Maybe I have to do a job I don't want to do. Maybe I have to restrict myself. Maybe I have to be in a work environment that doesn't respect who I am. Maybe I have to get money from other people. Maybe I have to always fall back on other people to pay my way because I don't feel capable of being tuned into my own path. Because your own path, your real path, will support you financially. But to have that path, you have to become available to a higher version of you, a version of you that doesn't say, I repress pain. You have to heal it. You have to heal the issues. If you have money issues, you have a problem with making money, or you have a problem with being able to say, I'm going to do what I need to do to make money, rather than what the culture wants me to do to make money. Then you have to be able to make money doing what you love. And that comes from, I'm not putting money on a pedestal. So a lot of financial things coming up right now. If you gave your power away to money, if you said, I'm going to do things that aren't right for me for money, I can assure you it's because you repressed yourself and you weren't following your own path, that maybe you've been following someone else's path. And in the end, if you're so tuned in to other people's paths rather than following the one that is right for you, you're going to find that you come undone. Until you just say, I'm willing to not repress myself anymore. I have to express who I really am. And who you are is not going to be trauma. So you have to heal the trauma. Yeah, I don't mean just express your pain or just express your blame. Although that's part of it. You know, if you're really feeling like I blame everyone, then you have to go to a point where you can express it with yourself, you know, but I'd rather you express it with God, with me, with God. Yeah, we channel God here. So you can have a relationship with me. I'd rather you express it with me than you necessarily express it with other people unless that feels right. But in the end, you're going to find that if you run through the explanations with yourself where you're blaming people, you're eventually going to come up to a point where you say, you know what, I could blame everyone else for me not following my own path, but in the end I'm going to come back to the point of, oh, I just had a lot of trauma and programming and pain to do with following my own path, and in the end I have to let go of fighting myself, fighting other people. So a lot of issues may be coming up for you right now, and I want you to stay the course. I don't want you to feel like you have to give your power away to anyone, because the power comes from, you're going to stay the course and really understand, what am I feeling? What am I doing? What am I needing to experience right now? Yeah, if you're so used to, I feel lack, then I want you to be so clear with yourself, I can't do that anymore. I have to follow my own path, and I have to know that I'm supported by God, by the universe. Yeah, very much a theme, and you have to become very aware of your emotions and your feelings. And to be able to say, you know, if I have a lot of heartache or I have a lot of trauma and I've repressed it, I have to be able to deal with it now and see, actually, it's not very scary if you really get to know your trauma. 5 of Swords, lots of anxiety in the collective right now. A lot of anxiety, a lot of confusion. You know, don't get wrapped up in it. Really, really, you have to start cultivating an energy of, I'm just tuned into myself. I'm committed to my real self. I'm committed to my real self. Your real self is your true self. Your self is a spiritual being. The real deal self that says, I make the right decisions. I do things to honor myself. I'm fully committed to my path, to myself, to God, to myself as God, to everyone else as God. I'm really committed to divinity. I'm not going to tune in and do other people's paths, because as soon as I do that, I find confusion. The more you tune into your own path, the more you stop trying to fix everyone else and stop projecting all your brokenness onto everyone else, and you tune into your real self, you see you're not really broken. You don't have to fix anything. You don't have to get involved in other people's lives. So if you tell other people what to do, the best thing you can do is not do that. Yeah, because it's most likely that you're projecting something that you feel is broken within yourself until you realize, you know, I need to just heal something within myself. And I need to understand that I'm not that wound. I'm a spiritual being that really is perfect. But if that's covered up in some way because I've had a trauma and I've repressed it for too long, now I have to just deal with it. Okay? So, 6 of Wands. There's a lot of success available for us right now. Yeah, I see that us as a collective energy. Because I'm with you. I'm with you wherever you're at. There's a lot of success available to you if you are willing to express the true you. If you're willing to stop trying to march to everyone else's agendas, you're going to find that the true you has an expression, you have a voice, you have your own path, and you're going to be very successful and victorious. So I want to say very plainly that if you feel like you haven't had success and it's becoming very clear to you, you don't have success, it's really because you're being encouraged to stop being something that you don't want to be. Yeah, if you're being someone who's a victim, you're being someone who's experiencing lack, it's not the real you. You're being encouraged to become the version of you that always knows that you're cared for and looked after. And this really comes from doing the work. You have to heal. You have to heal now. And really you're at a point where you're being brought opportunities to heal. Really you are. 3 of Cups. Yum, yum, yum. You know, there's just so much delicious energy in this card of it's time to be supported by the people who can support you. You know, I want to be very clear about this. This isn't about saying, well, you can't support me. Because if someone's not supporting you, it's very much you got to heal that within yourself. You know, you're most likely not able to feel supported by people. And so you're going to be reflected back to you the fact that you have to heal that within yourself. Yeah, I have to allow myself to experience support from everyone and everything, but not to control the way that happens. You know, very much about being open to whatever's meant for me, and the way that people are meant to support me, I want to experience that. Not I need to contrive it or control it. You got to support me in this way, and you got to support me in that way. And you know, it's very much about I want to be supported in the way that it is meant for me. And you know, sometimes it does look like you got to let go of being very close with people who can't hold space for you. You know, if you have a path that's very, very different from most people, you're going to find that some people are so challenged by it because it's just so different. It's just so different from what is acceptable in the mainstream. And so a lot of people may not be able to hold space for that, but there are people who will be able to, and those are the people that will come into your life soon. But they will not recognize you if you're not being you, if you're still feeling like you're a victim, or you feel like you're indulging paths that are not your own. You're going to find that you're so caught up in that energy that you're not able to create your own path, your own universe, your own world. And so these people won't recognize you. So you need to follow your own path. You know, this is the key message. Follow your heart, follow your own path. And really, really heal. Really heal. The most difficult issues for you are most likely coming up right now to be healed. If you gave your power away to anything or anyone, those things are showing you that, and it could be that it comes in the form of such a severe challenge that's going to make you feel I gotta solve this, I gotta heal this within myself now. And that's going to look like the things you really care about, and the things that a lot of people really care about is money. A lot of people care about money. And so that's going to be a key theme. It's just because that's what most people really put ahead of everything else. And if you've put money ahead of everything else, ahead of your happiness, or you've really put money on a pedestal and so there's no way I deserve you, there's no way I can earn you, there's no way I can make you, you know, really you need to understand that you don't need to earn money. Really, it's very much about when you follow the path you're meant to lead, you'll be looked after. But when you go to follow the path you're meant to lead, you will come up against the things that kept you from that path. Yeah, you're not going to have it all plain sailing. You're going to come up against the things that stopped you from doing that in the first place. If you didn't come into this life and you just did your own path and you were doing all these other paths, you're going to come up against the things that stopped you from doing your path in your first place so you can heal those things. And if money was a big issue for you, you know, maybe you felt not capable of charging for your services. Maybe you didn't really respect yourself in other lifetimes too. You know, maybe you feel you have to do everything for free. Maybe you feel that you have to do a job you don't really want to do. Maybe you feel like if you're following your passion, then maybe there was a part of you that felt, you know, this isn't as valuable as what is seen by mainstream as valuable. And sometimes it's really about bringing in all the gifts of your entire life to where you're at now, you know, so that you know, maybe you did have a different career before and you rejected that career because it was like so off base with what you wanted, only to come to now and feel, well, maybe I wanted to take the gifts that I had from that career and bring them to what I'm doing now. Yeah, so it's really about embracing all your gifts as well, and embracing the gifts that you've had throughout this lifetime. And sometimes you have to heal, though. You have to really let go of the memories. You know, stop talking about the past. If you talk about the past all the time, the good old days or whatever it is, because you're really caught up in that energy. And that holds so many people back. So again, I just want to reiterate, you have to have support now. If you're saying no to people supporting you or the right people coming in, then I want you to start saying, yes, I'm going to allow people to support me. I'm going to allow the people who are the same kind of me as me, I'm going to allow them to come in. And I'm also going to respect differences. You know, if people, you know, maybe your family is very different from you. Happens all the time. You know, in the end, you're going to want to respect all the differences and not change people. Doesn't mean you're going to put up with things because you want to become someone who is so healed that no one ever treats you badly. Yeah, people only ever treat you badly if you have something that said yes to that, yeah, or because you're unhealed. The more you're able to heal and see, you know, I'm worthy and I'm really worthy of my own path. A lot of it comes down to people following their own path. A lot of people say, I'm unworthy if I follow my own path. That's how we have the black sheep of the family. Because someone said, oh, my path looks different from everyone else's path in my family. And then you feel so much separation and you feel like you have to defend your path. And maybe you want your family to be more like you, or you want to be more like your family. And there's this tug of war that goes on. And in the end, you're going to come back to the point of, you know, I really just honor other people's choices and life choices and environments and worlds. And I never feel like I have to defend my path or change anyone so they can fit more in my universe, my world. Because in the end, you'll just realize that everyone came here to do what they needed to do. And the more you feel safe and you're honoring your own path, the more you're going to feel like I can also honor everyone else's path. And I don't have to change it. I don't have to manipulate them. I don't have to feel separation, because in the end, you're going to come back to a point where you really just want to love everyone. I'm not saying it. That means you're going to accept bad behavior. You're not. You're going to want to get to the point where you experience the divinity of everyone and everything, because you're so committed to who you really are. You're so committed to the divine version of you that you then want to know everyone as their divinity. And that comes from being really strong in your sense of real self. It comes from, I really healed everything. I really healed all my issues. I really allowed myself to become who I need to be in this world. And I did that over and over again by honoring myself, by honoring who I am, by saying yes to the things that are meant for me, by saying no to the things that are not meant for me. And to not say yes and yes and yes, you know, just in case. People do this all the time. I say yes to my path, and I say yes to all the old paths just in case I need to return to them. And then I'm like, oh, I feel like I can't do anything. Yeah, because you said yes to things that weren't okay for you, that weren't right for you. King of Swords. Very important that you have a relationship with God. Yeah, I'm gonna help you. See, it doesn't mean I have a relationship with you, that I'm a man or anything like that. But what I'm gonna do is help you get clarity, help you get a lot of clarity when you have a relationship with me. And so you want to start building a relationship with me, and there's a video already we have on this YouTube channel on how you can start doing that. Okay, and also you can always book a reading and gain more clarity and gain an understanding of your relationship with me. Okay, we have strength. All of this is to strengthen you. I would say many people are very weak right now because they've come to the realization that when you follow a path that's not yours, and when we keep banging on about it, because this is really the theme, follow your own path, follow your own individuality, follow your own calling. When you don't do that, or when you dishonor yourself, or you have a conversation where you say nothing to someone who's disrespecting you, doesn't mean you have to get all mean about it. But if you're not used to saying, oof, you know, I felt a little bit disrespected there, you know, and you're not needing to project. You're just saying, you know, I just felt a little bit disrespected just now. I really felt a little bit bad about this. And you're able to share that with someone without getting angry, without, you know, just acknowledging that maybe they did that to you because you had something within you that says, disrespect me. You know, you want to come at it with that awareness of, I understand you disrespected me because I'm disrespecting myself most probably in a lot of other ways, because I have a pattern that's unhealed that says, hey, disrespect me. You know, if you're able to have a life where you don't repress these ideas, where you're able to actually notice when you've gone against your eternal self, your real self, you know, gone against your soul, you know, when you start being aware of that, you see, you know what, it really weakens you over and over again. If you disrespect yourself, if you dishonor your true self, it weakens you. So the whole point of this is to bring you your most difficult issues that have weakened you because you've not known how to deal with them. Yeah, these are your biggest problems, your biggest, toughest relationships are most likely coming to the forefront right now so you can heal them. Because if they held you back because there was something within you that needed to be healed, you're going to know it and you're going to see it. And so you're most likely going to have a lot of family things coming up, because most people need to heal with their family so they can have other relationships where they're not fighting all the time. So everything's to make you stronger. So you're going to understand that if anything was weakening you, because it was where you dishonored yourself most, it's now coming up to be healed. And again, a lot of that's about family, a lot of it's financial, because those are the main ways that people really undermine themselves over and over again. King of Wands, so important to honor your passion. If you feel a lack of passion in your life right now, you're going to know it. You're going to know it. You're going to see, oof, I've been doing things I'm not passionate about. Maybe I'm in relationships with people I'm not feeling any passion with. But I will always encourage you, go look within yourself. You know, are you feeling a lack of passion within yourself first and foremost? Because that needs to be addressed first. And of course, all your relationships will reflect that. if you've not honored your own passions, you're going to find that a lot of your relationships aren't bringing you what you need. And they're most likely not the right relationships for you. They most likely are a little bit, not the right thing for you. This is a fresh start for you to start honoring your feelings, your emotions, your hunches, your intuitions. There's also new relationships are coming in now. So if you're with someone you're not meant to be with, let them go. Because you have new people coming in. Happens very quick. New relationships that honor you, that really support you, that really, I want you to say yes, 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 yes. Doesn't matter where you're at. You want support. You want people to support you. Really, it helps. It helps to have people who really love you and support you. And also to recognize that if you had anyone in your life that you felt, oh, they don't love me, maybe it's family, you also want to know that they love and support you in their own way. It's just maybe it wasn't in the way that you intended for them to support you because you had, some trauma. So you want to start feeling loved and supported by everyone, but also in particular, there's new relationships coming in. This can be a partnership for business. This can be romantic. It can be both. It can be new friends. It can be new clients. It can be the right people for you. And that's all coming in this month. All coming in very soon. This month is key. So again, you have the power to shift things right now. You really do. No matter how much it feels like you don't have power because you gave it away to money, or you gave it away to people, or you blame people. You said, you're holding me back. You're responsible for me feeling bored. You're responsible for me not feeling passion. You have to keep coming back to yourself and healing it and getting to a place where you feel really powerful and really strong. And that's going to come from having a relationship with God. That's going to come from having clarity, clear direction. And to really, I can't emphasize this enough, follow your own path. So if you didn't get that, follow your own path. Follow your own path. Please follow your own path. Don't do something because you feel, oh, this isn't working out. I'm trying to follow my own path and it's not working out. Because I guarantee you, if it's not working out, it's because you're not really following your own path. You understand? But I'm following my own path. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because your own path is going to work out. It means that you've been leaning into other people's approval of your path. You've been leaning into other people's opinions of your path. You've been defending your own path too much. Maybe you're fighting. I got to fight for my path all the time because I'm fighting. You got to heal it. You got to heal it because there's no way you're following your own path when you're fighting, because your true path, you don't have to defend it. You don't have to defend your own path. When you're following your own path, you're just going to be cool with it. If you're defending a path, then it means that maybe you're following a little bit of a different path. Yeah, because I'm still caught up in an illusion of some kind. Maybe I'm doing a path that I feel I have to fight everyone because that's unhealed. And then you're following a little bit of a lower path because I'm still fighting. I'm still defending myself. I'm still defending my path because I have unhealed trauma, unresolved issues with my family. Then you need to know that your family love you in their own way, because their divine self does. People love and do what they can in their own way, but if you're interacting with their trauma, you're going to feel their trauma. The more you're able to heal yourself and be your divine self, you're going to start to experience people in a different way. You're going to start experiencing them in a divine way, where they can't mirror trauma if you don't have it within you. So your true path is going to be available when you've healed yourself, where you're not fighting. But I don't want you to feel like it's so difficult to follow your own path that you have to be perfect to follow it, because there's always going to be available to you the right path right where you're at. Let me say that one more time. There's always going to be the right path available for you right where you're at. Even if you're unhealed, you're going to be able to access the right path for you that's going to take you to where you need to get to. And it's always going to be very much an internal experience of I just become a higher and higher version of myself by strengthening myself, by honoring my connection with myself as a divine being, where I'm always respecting myself as a divine being. And if you don't know what that means, you need to start understanding that this human experience isn't all that you are. You're not just this role or this career. If you over-identify with, oh, well, I'm a lawyer, that's who I am, or I'm Jewish, that's who I am, or I'm Christian, that's who I am, or I'm Catholic and that's who I am, and I'm a husband and that's who I am, or I'm a wife or a girlfriend, that's who I am. No, it's not who you are. No, that's not who you are. That's not who, that's a role that you're playing in this incarnation until you wake up and realize, no, it's very limiting to play just this very internal role of, oh, I'm a wife, or I'm a mother, and I'm a Jew, and I'm a Christian, I'm a Catholic, and very, very limited, because in other lifetimes you've been other religions, and actually your true self doesn't really care about that. Your true self just knows, I have my spiritual path and that's the one I got to follow, and I got to honor my own divinity, and I got to honor the divinity of everyone else. So I'm never going to put up with bad behavior. I'm going to honor their divine self, and I'm going to always respect their choices and their free will. I'm not going to try and change anyone, but I'm going to become my divine self, knowing that when I do that and I create my own universe, I'm going to influence everyone else in a really good way. So people are going to remember their own divinity and remember who they are around me. So if you over-identify with who you are, or with your name, or with anything like that, then just know it's not who you truly are, and there's much more potential within you that's wanting to come out now. You know, you really want to know that you're a powerful eternal being that can never ever die. And that actually you're wanting to experience your eternal nature now while on earth. Because let me tell you, it's a lot more fun to experience your eternal nature and to remember who you truly are as a spiritual being, and then to go and do life like that, where you have so much more ease and benevolence and joy and love, and you no longer feel separate and angry. You actually feel like, wow, I get to experience myself as a divine being, having an earthly experience where, wow, like maybe normally I would have waited until I died to remember I'm an eternal being. Now I'm actually awakening up and transitioning into an eternal being whilst on earth, and able to have a completely different experience that I've never had in any other lifetime. Now, if that appeals to you, good, because it absolutely will. It absolutely will appeal to you more than I'm just going to remember that I'm not remembering anything, okay? Okay, lots of love to you. Bye for now.